the government of Dubai, Dr. Bushra AlBlooshi, the head of research and innovation in Dubai Electronic Security Center. She will discuss the main issues and challenges of cybersecurity introduced by artificial intelligence. She will talk about the importance of AI governance, and she will shed the light of the efforts of the government of UAE in the field of data science. I would like to kindly ask Dr. Bushra to join us and start sharing her presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Amira, for the nice introduction. My name is Bushra AlBlooshi. I'm the head of research and innovation in Dubai Electronic Security Center. It gives me a great pleasure to be among you here today. As Amira said, my presentation today will shed the light on the importance of AI, or how AI is shaping the future of cybersecurity. And I would like to start my presentation by a quote from Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. We have to anticipate the changes. The world is accelerating with a revolution toward technological innovations and their development. And therefore, Dubai Electronic Security Center established Sheikh Mohammed back into 2014 as a way to stay at the forefront of this technological shift in society. So Dubai Electronic Security Center was established under the law number 11 back into 2014. Our main vision is to make Dubai among safest cities electronically in the world. His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum launched Dubai Cybersecurity Strategy that focuses on 5 main domains or 5 main pillars. The first pillar is about cybersecurity, and then the second pillar is focused on to cyber smart society, how we can make our society more understandable to the cybersecurity issues and cybersecurity attacks. Then we have the innovation domain, we have the cyber resilience, the national and international collaboration, and in each domain we are having set of strategic objectives that we need to achieve by end of 2022. So today's agenda will focus on several pillars, but I'm trying to make them very brief so I can finish on time. So I'm going to talk about then I'm going to talk about the AI governance framework, efforts that UAE is putting towards AI security, and then I will conclude my presentation by a short, brief talk about this cyber intelligence lab that we have in collaboration with the University of Dubai. We all know big economy. With the accumulation of big data, dramatic improvements in computing power and continuous innovations in AI have become global. AI in cybersecurity can be used both in offensive and defensive measures. In offensive measures to create more sophisticated attacks, and in defensive measures to empower the defensive capabilities that we have. The security, the AI engine themselves are also essential. And there are many challenges in securing the AI systems and models themselves. That can be summarized in 3 main points, and those are still an open-ended problems that we are having in securing the AI systems or the AI models themselves. The first challenge is the technical reliability. Can we rely on the AI systems as it is right now today? The privacy protection, the data that is, as I said, the fuel or the main engine or the main driver for AI, how we can secure, how we can guarantee the privacy of such data. The legal requirements, right now we are lacking the legal or global legal requirements or legal frameworks that we can all identify or unify across the AI engines or the AI systems themselves. I'm going to talk about those issues and challenges in more details in my coming slides. So I will start with the AI defensive measures, how AI can be used in cybersecurity to empower the defensive measures that we have right now. The rise of cybersecurity incidents, AI and machine learning can assist in the battle with cybercrimes, but we are not still yet there. AI is implemented in many areas right now within cybersecurity, such as anomaly detection. So you can define the normal activities from anomalous activities, and by that way you can identify the anomalies from the normal activities from a network traffic, let's say. Misuse detection identifies malicious behavior based on the previous data or based on the historical data that will be fed into the system or into the engine. Data exploration is to identify the data characteristics themselves. Risk assessment, assessing the probability of user behavior being malicious. And the last area that AI can be used in cybersecurity is the incident response. In a research that was conducted back into 2019 with the presence of 850 executives, AI in their network security tools and algorithms. And the remaining, they mentioned that they are using AI, or AI is being used within their data security, endpoint security, identity and access security, applications, cloud security, IT security, but the majority of them, let's say 75% of them, they confirm that they are using it within their network security measures. AI plays a vital role in today's world to detect, deter, and respond to malicious activities in the cyber world. How we can build the right model for AI in cybersecurity, it's like any other model that is developed with an AI. So you have different phases. You have the training phase, then the predictive model, and you will take that predictive model, you will implement it in your real life environment, and then you will improve it with the data that will be accumulated and will be fed to that engine in order to make it more reliable and more and give you more accurate results. So in an incident response, you will have three main phases: detection, prediction, response. And the question was also again for 850 executives around the world, where are utilizing AI more, in the detection phase, prediction phase, or response phase? And the majority of them, they confirm that they are utilizing AI at the detection phase. I don't think we are yet at the prediction, let's say, at the prediction use case of AI. So AI is not yet there for prediction. And still, we need human beings to in front of the AI engines to make sure that the prediction we are getting from those engines are accurate, and to make sure that the response that AI might take on any incident is accurate. Algorithms that can be used as defensive measures within either IDS, IPS, or any other network security solutions. With signature-based, and we have two types of signature-based. It's either atomic signature or stateful signature. An atomic signature, basically, the AI engine will trigger based on a single packet or an event. Where in a stateful signature, it will trigger based on a sequence of events, based on a sequence of activities that will be stored as a historical of the AI engine as it goes. The only issue with signature-based that it can only detect the attacks from which the signature has been previously created for. Example of that is IDS, IPS. We have currently many intrusion detection and intrusion prevention systems in the market that are based on signature-based algorithms. Another approach is the pattern detection. So it will detect the behavior that falls outside of a normal system. So you will identify the normal system, and any behavior or any outlier that goes outside of the normal system, that the AI will detect and will trigger the AI notification based on that. The behavioral modeling is main aim is to distinguish between the normal versus anomalous activity of the user or of a network traffic that passes through that AI engine. Now moving to the AI offensive measures, how AI is being used by attackers. As I said, AI at the end of the day for cybersecurity is a double-edged sword. It can be used for defensive measures and can be used for offensive measures. How AI being utilized for offensive measures? Basically, it can be used for malware manipulation. So you can empower malwares, you can create new malwares by adding further AI and machine learning algorithms to them. Data-related breaches, system breaches, social engineering. When it comes to malware manipulation, I remember a challenge we had last year during Hack in the Box, and that challenge was open for students. And we asked the students to change the behavior of the malware using AI algorithms in order to make it more difficult for the prevention and detection systems to capture that malware. And the winner of that challenge was still a university student, and he was able, so the malware was originally being detected by like 26 malware detection tools. With the AI engine and the empowerment that they added into the malware without changing its behavior, actually it was only detected by 2 malware engines or 2 malware detection engines at the end of the challenge. What big data means for the attackers. So big data is a lot for attackers. So imagine a victim who has accounts in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so many other social media environments. Command and control, installation and exploitation is still the old-fashioned, but right now the attackers are utilizing the big data that the user is storing on his machine or his device in order to facilitate the whole process of the attack over the victim machine. So we talked about the AI engines themselves, and we said that the AI, securing the AI engines themselves is very important regardless where are you going to use that AI engine, especially if you are going to use it in critical sectors or critical use cases. There are different attacks that can be performed with the AI engine itself. The first attack is over the data itself, 2 attacks over the data, and the next 2 attacks are over the prediction model itself. So the 2 attacks that I'm going to talk about for the data itself, the evasion attack. In the evasion attack, the attacker will try to add extra information to the data itself in order to change the prediction, in order to change the decision of the prediction model itself. Then in the second attack, which is the poisoning attack, this is more towards the privacy of the data. The attacker will try to steal the data, will try to play with the data, will try to break the privacy of the data itself. Then the 2 other attacks, which are targeted towards the predictive model itself. The first one is the model theft attack. So the attacker will try to understand the model, the prediction model itself, and will try to attack that model. Then we have the backdoor and the vulnerability attack. In that attack, basically the attacker will try to listen to whatever data is coming to the attack engine or to the predictive engine, and will try to gather the information about the data and about the predictive model itself. So 4 main attacks that we need to consider whenever we are developing any AI systems, whether it is for security or not. AI governance. AI governance is another big challenge that I think many governments are trying to solve in today's life. Those are some examples of international guidelines that were published in the past 2 years only in order to put some sort of framework towards AI. For example, European Union, they issued the ethics guidelines for trustworthy AI. In Singapore, they issued something called Model AI Governance Framework. In United Kingdom, AI Auditing Framework. And I'm gonna talk about UAE efforts in more details in the coming slides. So what are the main objectives of AI governance? There are several objectives that we need to ensure when we are talking about AI governance. We need to ensure the systematic security and controllability. Who will control the whole framework of AI? Deployment objective assurance, how we can assure that the objectives of the deployment are met in the AI model. Competence, data management, privacy protection, fairness, transparency, and traceability. Let's imagine an application or a system that is based on AI. So that system will consist of several layers, and each layer will have different roles and responsibilities. On the right side here, you can see how AI has been evolved from the data to big data to AI. So we will have different roles and responsibilities in any AI application or any AI system. That starts with the data collectors. So first item or first pillar that you need to have in any AI system is the data or the data collector engine. And there you will find different responsibilities. You need to have user authorization, data subject rights, data security. In the solution providers layer, you will have also different and many responsibilities that the solution providers should adhere with. And that also can be divided in 3 main layers: basic layer, technology layer, and application layer. Then you will have the deployer of those solutions. So you have data collectors, you have solution providers, then you have deployers of those solutions. And then at the end, you will have the final consumers or customers who will have also certain responsibilities with the AI system. And then we will have for sure shared responsibilities across all of those roles, such as competence, privacy, protection, and data governance. So we are all responsible here in this platform towards competency, privacy, and data governance. Therefore, having clear roles and responsibilities in any AI engine or any AI system is very important, and is very crucial in order to achieve the ethics and the regulations and the frameworks that we are setting up. AI stakeholders, they will govern their related activities under applicable laws. Now moving to UAE efforts towards AI security, what UAE did towards securing the AI, whether it's an AI system, AI model, or AI being used in cybersecurity areas. As you are all aware, UAE created the first ever minister, announced its first ever minister of AI back in 2016, I think. And in 2018, UAE Council was established under UAE AI Council was established under the Minister of AI in order to roll out the UAE AI Strategy 2031. Then from the AI Council, AI Cybersecurity and Risk Management Committee was established. And in that committee, we are having different members from different cities in UAE. So you will have a member from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah, Ajman, and all of those members are cybersecurity specialists with the aim to put the cybersecurity framework for the AI committee in UAE. And then in 2019, AI guide was issued, and that includes 4 key considerations: AI governance, data governance, cybersecurity, and ethics. In Dubai specifically, Smart Dubai issued AI ethics principles and guidelines. But before that in 2016, Dubai announced the establishment of Dubai Data Establishment. So Dubai Data Establishment main role is to take care of the government data and to make sure that the government data is secured in a way that can be utilized in the future for the AI and AI use case and applications. One of the main roles that Dubai Data Establishment did since its establishment is to prepare data ambassadors in each government entity within Dubai. So right now you can find group of data ambassadors in each government entity who can understand the importance of data, who can understand the importance of securing the data, who can understand the importance of creating an AI, let's say, tools or engines on top of those data that they are managing and maintaining within their own entities. Then in 2019, Smart Dubai published a set of AI principles, ethics, and guidelines, and they also endorsed a self-assessment toolkit to help assess the level of ethics in AI. I'm going to just focus about the cybersecurity part of the Smart Dubai AI principles. So Dubai AI principles focused on four main pillars: ethics, security, humanity, inclusiveness. And I'm gonna talk about the security part in more details now. So AI systems will be safe, secure, and it's controllable by the humans. Safety and security of the people is on top of our priority. That's why it should be safe and should guarantee the safety of the people themselves. It should be verifiably secure and controllable throughout their operational lifetime. The continued security and the privacy of the users should be considered whenever decommissioning the AI systems. AI systems that may directly impact people's lives in significant way should receive commensurate care in their design. So it should get further attentions in their design, and we should put more countermeasures on those systems. Such systems should be able to be overridden or on their decision reversed by designated people. Then the second main pillar that we have in the cybersecurity within AI security principles is about humanity. AI systems should not be able to autonomously hurt, destroy, or deceive humans. AI systems should be built to serve the community. So we shouldn't use AI for, let's say, bad things. We should develop AI systems in order to serve the community. Nations should collaborate to avoid arms race and lethal autonomous weapons. Active cooperation should be pursued to avoid corner cutting on safety standards. Systems designed to inform significant decisions should do so impartially. Then moving towards Dubai Electronic Security Center Cyber Intelligence Lab that is hosted in University of Dubai. Back in 2017, we started a huge project with the University of Dubai with the main aim to empower cybersecurity in different aspects, and with the aim to have a collaboration across between the industry and the academia, and with the aim also to engage and ensure young Emirati are trained in the correct fields. The main aim of the lab, or the Cyber Intelligence Lab in University of Dubai, is to secure the OT or ICS systems in the industrial world. And we set up a complete platform that is based on AI and machine learning in order to support us understand better the attacks that comes into AI, into ICS or OT systems. So we have the data collectors, then we have the processing and analysis phase or engines, and then we have the AI and big data. At the end, we have the visualization phase where we are predicting the next attack that might target the OT systems or ICS systems.
Thank you, Dr. Bushra. Can we wrap in 2 minutes?
Yeah, this is my last slide. So basically, Desk Cyber Intelligence Lab main objective, as I said, is to utilize the AI engine in order to predict future attacks and in order to detect any attacks that comes into the critical ICS systems that we have in the city. That was my last slide. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bushra, for your insightful talk. We are very proud to have a woman like you in the government of Dubai holding such a critical position in the field of cybersecurity. And now we will have